The Pony Express mail service galloped through the Panhandle once again this week as dozens of volunteers helped with the annual re-ride of the original route from the 1860s. KNEB.TV News starts right now.
From your trusted source for news in western Nebraska and eastern Wyoming, this is KNEB.TV News. Presented by Platte Valley Companies, premier provider of financial services.
Hello, I'm Ryan Murphy. This is KNEB.TV News, powered by Platte Valley Companies. Thanks for joining me. In our top story, horseback riders from across the country are joining forces to help with the annual re-ride of the original Pony Express route. Yesterday, a group of 12 riders covered a 60-mile stretch to the Nebraska-Wyoming state line. In Bridgeport, Susanna and Ainsley Velke of Mitchell awaited the transfer of the mochila, the leather satchel that carried all the letters en route to Sacramento. Trail Captain Max Quetzel tells KNB News, just like the original Pony Express, Mother Nature can affect the timeliness of the mail. He says Wednesday's powerful storms in the southern panhandle delayed the riders by several hours, and they'll try to make up the lost time over the next few days.
We handed off the state line Pony Express riders, and they'll go all night. The Pony Express runs 24 hours a day, just like it used to.
The riders will be traveling westward through Wyoming over the weekend and are expected to arrive in California on Thursday of next week. Well, the Nebraska Department of Labor will be hosting a drive-through job and resource fair in Scottsbluff next week. This event is open to the public for those looking for new career opportunities, as well as businesses to showcase their open positions. DOL Region Manager Pat Comfort says this will be a great opportunity for people looking for a job.
This is absolutely an opportunity for everybody to find out what's available in our community as far as employment and resources that may help them. People do change jobs, they change careers, and if they're interested in something like that, this is, again, an opportunity for them to find out what's there.
The event will be held on Wednesday, June 15th from 4:30 to 6 p.m. at the Nebraska Department of Labor offices at 505A Broadway in Scottsbluff. We'll have more news right after this.
At Platte Valley Bank, we want to help you take advantage of every adventure. We know you have plans, goals, and dreams. Let us help you with them. Whether it is building, buying, or renovating, we have the home loan or home equity line of credit to fit your needs. Stop in and see us at Platte Valley Bank and let us help make your dreams a reality. You belong here. Platte Valley Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Life Care promises us that we are looked after and taken care of properly.
If I didn't have Life Care, I would be probably scared to death about having enough money for when I got older or when I got sick.
Moving in here was an easy decision and, in fact, a no-brainer. I looked at it as actually buying long-term care insurance, and in retrospect, a good move.
One of the things that convinces me that we did the right thing is no matter what happens, we will constantly be taken care of.
The whole thing is just vital because you don't have to be worried about what's ahead for you. It's there, it's in black and white, and that's reassuring.
This is home. It has been from the day I moved in.
Welcome back. The Scottsbluff Police Department participated in the recent Click It or Ticket seatbelt enforcement, with officers seeing a noticeable increase in usage. During the 2-week campaign, officers issued 120 citations that included no seatbelt, open container of alcohol, possession of drug paraphernalia, and more. The Scottsbluff Police Department says that the seatbelt usage rate in Scottsbluff has increased 8.5% over time and continues to rise. Sergeant Phil Eckerberg says he is pleased to see Scottsbluff seatbelt usage climb to nearly 60%. The Scottsbluff Police Department was awarded the enforcement grant from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. Well, the United Way of Western Nebraska has announced their 2022-2023 grant award recipients, including 18 nonprofits in the Scottsbluff County area, 12 in Box Butte County, and 4 in Dawes County. Now, several nonprofit agencies receive funding in more than one United Way of Western Nebraska service area, culminating with a total of 27 nonprofits representing 11 counties in the Nebraska Panhandle and Goshen County, Wyoming. Representatives from United Way Pace Setter businesses and community volunteers reviewed each application and interviewed representatives from each agency to determine funding levels for each nonprofit agency that applied. All grants were made possible by funds raised during last year's United Way of Western Nebraska annual campaign. And community members are invited to meet the running mate for Nebraska's Democratic candidate for governor. Former Panhandle State Senator Al Davis of Hyannis is Carol Blood's running mate, and he will be in Scottsbluff Saturday evening to talk with locals about issues facing the state. Things kick off Saturday at 7 p.m. at El Chorrito Restaurant on 21st Avenue in Scottsbluff. Well, coming up to the break, Bill Boyer will be in with your weekend weather forecast. He'll have that right after this on KNEB.TV News.
Fly United Airlines, operated by SkyWest with Western Nebraska Regional Airport. United is dedicated to going the extra mile for you with daily flights to and from Denver, along with a commitment to excellent service. Reserve your flight today, and remember, United miles can be earned and redeemed with your flights. While at the airport, stop and enjoy authentic Italian food at Roma Italian Restaurant. Plus, Hertz Thrifty Car Rental is there for your car rental needs. Make life easier, relax, and get on board with Western Nebraska Regional Airport.
Welcome to Kelly's, home of the Valley's best selection of wine, spirits, and beer. Whether you're brand loyal to the tried and true brew or really enjoy trying something different and new, Kelly's has something for everyone. Family owned and operated and right on your way on West 27th Street in Scottsbluff. Kelly's Liquor. If you can't find it at Kelly's, it's not worth drinking.
This is KNEB.TV weather from the KNEB Storm Center, your trusted source for weather.
Again this evening, partly cloudy skies early will turn clear later on tonight, and temps fall slowly down into the upper 50s is all for lows overnight. It is going to be a hot weekend coming up. We could see a few storms around Sunday. Tuesday looks much cooler, only to heat back up again for Thursday and into the weekend next week. 87 yesterday after a morning low of 58. Pretty comfortable here in the backyard. Nothing in the rain gauge yesterday. We're up to still just 300s for the month, falling well below normal for the year now. 80s and low 90s out there across the region right now. We have 83 Mullen, Valentine, 88 in Kimball. There's a 91 on the board in Scottsbluff, 90 in Wheatland. Winds are out of the north, but under 15 miles an hour. Gusting at times to 20 to 25 in eastern Wyoming. Generally speaking, though, fairly quiet here across the region. Severe weather threat tonight is well off to our south and east. Pretty decent threat of severe weather as you get into portions of the southeast. Closer to home, though, we don't have much going on. It is quiet tonight here across the region, and even quiet for tomorrow. A marginal risk of a few storms up around the northern portions of the region into northeast Nebraska. Then on Sunday, we do have a marginal to slight risk of some severe storms. Coverage is questionable how many storms we're going to see around Sunday, but if we do see some severe weather, certainly on the table. Futurecast tonight, just a few clouds around the region. That is it. Otherwise, it is going to be mild and dry for most of the night tonight and most of the weekend, in fact. Upper 50s to low 60s overnight for lows. That's going to get us started off on the right foot tomorrow, where it's going to be warm out there. Lots of sun to heat us up late in the day. A couple of isolated showers try to form. I don't think we're going to see very many of those. A better chance coming in on Sunday, but a non-zero chance of a late day shower tomorrow. And temps tomorrow going to rise well up into the 90s here across the region. And we're going to continue that on into Sunday and Monday. precip going to be light, some better chances of precip off to the north of us. So tonight we're looking at 58 with partly cloudy skies. Tomorrow, how about partly cloudy skies again, but hot. Highs in the upper 90s. And look at our 7-day forecast. We are going to be in the 90s to near 100 through Monday. You'll see some late day storms around on Sunday. Then Monday we bring in some showers and or Tuesday rather, some showers and on into Wednesday with highs only back in the 70s, only to return back to the 90s on Thursday and near 100 again by Friday of next week as the heat looks to return here and summer officially taking its stranglehold on the region.
Logos in Gering is the place to get all of your school spirit gear, personalized gifts, and promotional items for your business and employees and banners for any special event. Logos is also the only place to stop for custom screen printing or embroidery. You can even design it yourself on their interactive website. Stop into Logos today. They'll design it, print it, and have it to you in no time. There's no job too big or small for Logos. That's Logos in Gering.
I really like how our OB department takes our limited amount of doctors and turns it into a strength. Even though we only have a couple of people, you get to know them well over your entire pregnancy. We have 2 state-of-the-art labor rooms that are new with our last addition. We have a couple of very nice postpartum rooms also right here in the hospital so they can get as much time with mom and baby as possible.
This is KNEB.TV Ag News from the FNBO Ag Desk. FNBO, the great big small bank.
Welcome to Fridays in the Field, brought to you by FNBO, the great big small bank. Clay Patton with you as we follow along the Peterson & Sons farm north of Bertrand, south of Overton, near the I-80 corridor. And this year we're talking with Creighton Peterson. Creighton, thanks so much for letting us tag along this year as you're pushing for big yields as well, though trying to keep in mind all that's happening right now in this crazy world when it comes to farming. I think as we get started this year, though, just give us some background about yourself and about your farm.
I just graduated from the University Lincoln last May. Started farming 3 years ago, picked up some of my first ground. Been under management of that, been farming with my dad and 2 brothers, helped them out with their farm, and just been farming a couple quarters by my own.
And it's pretty exciting. The farm that we're on right now, your grandpa actually bought in the early 1970s and kind of got everything rolling from there.
Yep, he bought this early 1970s, this half section here, and got some farm ground, and we've kind of expanded since then.
So Creighton, one of the reasons I wanted to follow along, and thank you again for allowing us to follow you along this year, is when I got out the National Corn Growers Yield Contest, I saw Bertrand, Nebraska made it up into some of the upper echelons and upper placings in several of the categories. So tell us how you got along last year in the National Corn Growers Contest.
Last year it was a good year for corn growing. It seems once we got in our first field of beans, saw the average, once we got the weight sheets back, we had great averages, and all year long, it just seemed like our yields were just great.
And what a category was it again in that you had a top end yield?
Strip till division. So we kind of got into strip tilling. This will be our third year of doing the strip till, and we've really liked that, showing good yields through the strip till categories.
That is great to hear. And when we start looking now at the 22 growing season, it has been such an interesting year. Of course, it was an extremely dry fall and dry winter. Now here towards the late portion of May and the early part of June, we're seeing kind of almost monsoonal type rains, it seems like. So from a farming perspective, tell us, how is this year going for you?
I'd say the first half of planting was a struggle for us. We pulling into fields and couldn't get the planters to go on the ground. So we're pulling the planters out of the field, running the pivots around, trying to put half to 3/4 of an inch of rain on, and then going black and planting them later. And then we got the rain about May 1st, May 2nd, and that kind of just changed the whole game for planting season.
And so you got in. So how much of your grain did you get in before that rain, and did that help with emergence on the backside?
I'd say we probably got a little over a quarter of all our ground in before the first good rain, and like I said, it was just hard. And then emergence, we got that rain, so we've had good emergence. We've been running the pivots a little bit, but with the past few rains we've gotten, it's just helped a ton.
And with that as well, we got some cool temperatures in there, but now it looks like we're going to turn the heat back on, trying to get some good growing degree day units in there. Does that change the strategy any? Are you watching the crop health, or do you think so long as you've got it up and going, it's got a pretty good chance?
I think it's got a pretty good chance. Had some beans that got hit pretty hard from the last cold snap, but I think they'll come out of it. Corn took it a little hard, but I think it'll all be fine.
And you're talking about you're farming a little bit on your own, but you're also getting to come back to the family farm and help out your brothers and your dad as well. What have been some of the things that you would talk that's great about being able to manage your own, but also help on back with the family operation?
Just learning key things from them. My dad's been doing it for 40 years. I mean, anything from him is, I don't know, it's just having him by my side, being able to help with marketing and making decisions helps a ton.
That is always a great thing to hear, that families working together like that. Creighton, it's going to be about 6 weeks before we get a talk again. What are some key things that you're going to be watching in the fields? And what are you going to be working on here over the next couple weeks?
Probably get into spraying, keeping fields clean, spraying with herbicides, watching plant growth. We'll be probably putting on our first rounds of nitrogen through then. We put about 70 pounds of nitrogen through our pivots from probably about V6 through tassel. We'll put fertilizer through our pivots, so we'll probably start that, and then just keeping the irrigating going.
Again, that is Creighton Peterson here with Peterson & Sons Farms. We're just north of Bertrand on this year's Fridays in the Field. It's brought to you by FNBO.
Well, let's take a peek at what's happening on your weekend community calendar. The Community Calendar is brought to you by Riverstone Bank. First State Bank is now Riverstone Bank. Community strong with the same people you know and trust.
Find out what convenient really means at the Western Travel Terminal. Start with our great selection of food and drinks, from for real milkshakes and fresh brewed coffee to snacks and hot food. Next, check out our beer and spirits with their everyday low prices. Finally, let us work for you with our full-service gas station and automatic truck and car wash. All this can be found at 822 South Beltline in Scottsbluff. Western Travel Terminal, your convenient shopping, restaurant, and full-service gas leader.
At Platte Valley Bank, we want to help you take advantage of every adventure. We know you have plans, goals, and dreams. Let us help you with them. Whether you are just starting the business you have always imagined or looking to grow your existing one, we have a business loan to fit your needs. Stop in and see us at Platte Valley Bank and let us help make your dreams a reality. You belong here. Platte Valley Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
And finally tonight, it was a celebratory Wednesday at the Scottsbluff Country Club as the Panhandle Business and Professional Women held their annual awards presentation. This year, Lori Stromberg was named Member of the Year, Michaela Mendoza as the Young Careerist, and Scottsbluff County Health Department's Paulette Schnell named Woman of the Year. Schnell says she was honored to receive the nod from the BPW.
So I just want to thank you for all this. It really means a lot. What BPW does is makes us all a better person. They take opportunities throughout the year in many ways to really recognize women and celebrate all that we can accomplish. And that brings out the best in all of us. So thank you for that.
Bluffs Physical Therapy and ESU 13 were named Employers of the Year, and Alyssa Dishman, Sierra Ostick, and Chandler Rummel were awarded scholarships. Panhandle BPW is the Scottsbluff-based chapter, part of a national foundation advocating for gender equality. Well, that does it for us this time. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a great weekend. Stay safe out there. We'll see you back here on Monday.